we kind of knew right away that he was just going to be part of our company if he came to the event. It was just like, this is awesome, because he is not going to go away not as part of LifeVantage. And it meant a lot to Michelle and I to be able to have that faith of what our company stands for, that we could attract somebody like him. I mean, this dude's a powerhouse. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen over the next several years with him on board with us and him joining hands with our company. But I'd like to bring up a really good friend, Taylor Worre. Come and bring this home, brother.
Tears. Put the tissues away. This has been like one long Melissa Etheridge dog commercial. I'm just crying the whole time. I can't handle it anymore. Your stories are amazing. I love every one of them, but at the end of this event, I am like emotionally spiking right now. So I can't take anymore. So we're gonna laugh for a while now. You can cry from laughing, that's fine, but no more tears. Oh, you guys having a good event? Good, I hope so. I hope that you've been purposeful with these last few days. I really hope so. I hope that if you haven't, if you find yourself lacking anything right now, I tell everyone before they come to an event, anyone that comes up to me and says, you know, what should I do when I'm just getting here? I always tell them to go sit in a corner by themselves, get out a notebook, and write down why they're here. Because like your business, everyone is doing this for a different reason. Everyone's business is like a fingerprint. Everyone's reason for being at this convention is like a snowflake. They're all different. And so it's very important to be purposeful about why you're here, because if you're not, these 4 days can go by and you can have all the tears and all the laughs and all the fun times, and you will go home and a week later, when everyone's still jacked up and excited, you're going to lose the flame and wonder why. Because they were there with purpose, and you were kind of feeding off of their purpose. They were telling you all the exciting reasons. You're like, well, those are good reasons, so I'll take those. But if you really break it down, I was talking to someone, and we're not going to cry, but she broke down because I said, you know, why are you here? And she kind of gave me the news, weather, sports answer. You know, just I'm here to grow my belief, and I'm here to grow. I said, well, what are you really here for? What do you want to change in your life? What are you looking for that's different? What these 4 days can literally be involved. You can have a defining moment tonight. It's not too late. Tonight there can be a moment that can change your stars for the rest of your life if you're purposeful about it. It might be this moment right now where someone's just making you aware of the fact that maybe you've been playing too small. Your purpose might be a lot bigger, and you're just kind of letting it be this coated over, less than version of what you're really doing here. And so I don't, I was trying to think, how many, raise your hand if you were at the lunch that I did yesterday. Holy buckets, all right, I don't want to repeat. I'll just do the same talk, buckle up. We won't do that. But I'm so glad I was able to share that lunch with you guys. And but honestly, there are a couple of things that I really want coming out of this for you guys. Being purposeful coming out of this event is equally as important as being purposeful while you're here. And how many people, there's a lot of new people. Raise your hand if you're within your first year. So awesome. Wow. That's so good. That's so sweet. So what I want to tell you is, there's one catch to network marketing. We talked about it yesterday, and I'm sure a lot of you hopefully wrote it down, you remember it. But if you have a notebook and you want to know the one catch to network marketing, get a notebook ready. There's only one. One simple catch.
Sit yourself.
You have to be willing to accept the temporary loss. Keyword temporary. You have to be willing to accept the temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. That is all. That's it. Then it just comes down to marrying the process and divorcing the result, you guys. That is it. Tony Robbins, I talked about yesterday, gave me the best advice I've ever gotten in my life. He said, Taylor, if you can find a way to help people trade their expectations for appreciations, their whole life changes overnight. It's great to have big goals. Goals are phenomenal. But the second that you tie your self-worth to a goal, it becomes an expectation, and those are toxic. You're so much bigger than your goals. Your goals are great, they're great to have, but again, the second you tie your self-worth to a goal, it becomes an expectation, and expectations are toxic. The one thing that I've come to see in my life is that 99.9% of every expectation I've ever felt has never been met. It's never met. Sometimes it's better than, less than, but it's never met what you expect it to be. Very rarely where you're like, that's exactly what I was expecting. How often do you find yourself saying those words? That is exactly, I got out of the movie, that's exactly what I was expecting. Nope. You either walk out and go, man, I really thought that was going to be better. Preview made it look really good. Or you walk out going, they didn't sell it at all, it's the best movie I've ever seen. I tell people all the time, this business, for those of you new people, you should never feel like you're selling at LifeVantage. You should never feel like you're selling a single thing. Our job, your job, is to be a professional door opener. That is it. Your job is to open the door to opportunity. That is it. Yes, no, or indifferent, marry the process, divorce the result. So when you're building, and you're divorcing this result, and you're marrying this process, and you're going through it, there's a couple things I want to remind you of along your journey. And this is for some of the veterans that have been in for a while. You're not at the place you want to be yet. I'll remind you, never judge your success based on somebody else's timeline. Never. I get it. It can be frustrating, a little bit irritating. It's a double-edged sword when you see one of these guys get up on stage and say, I went pro 7 to 1 month and it was easy. Like, well, wait a minute. I've been here for 5 years, talking to a whole lot of people. What do you mean it was easy? But I'll remind you of a story. How many, raise your hand if you know who Usain Bolt is? Fastest man in the world. Usain Bolt ran in 3 different Olympics, won 9 gold medals, fastest man on the planet. Total accumulated run time to win 9 gold medals, 115 seconds. That was it, 115 seconds. Got 9 gold medals, 3 different Olympics. In those 115 seconds, he was able to earn, because of all those gold medals, $119 million. Now the story is, and the question you got to ask yourself is, did he earn $119 million in 115 seconds? Or did he earn $119 million in a lifetime of perfecting his craft so that when the time came and he was able to step on the biggest stage in the world, he was able to shock everybody and be the best in the world? It's a lifetime. And so what you didn't see with Georg, most people don't see, is the 30 years of professional work that he's put into this profession to be able to have a month like he did here at LifeVantage. He's been with multiple other companies, built huge organizations. He's an incredible leader. But like an iceberg, you only see the tip. You see the stage time. You see that stuff. You don't see the incredible amount of work. My father says 10,000 hours. I'm sure many of you have heard this, but 10,000 hours before you can call yourself a professional at anything. We're no different. This is a profession. You got to put your time in. The only cool thing, the only difference from us, doctors put their time in 10,000 hours at least before they practice. Lawyers put their time in 10,000 hours at least before they step on a courtroom floor. Teachers, police officers, all these people are putting their 10,000 hours in. The only difference between us and them is we get to get paid while we're learning. It's a pretty sweet, sweet deal. And so with that being said, you guys, honestly, I just want you to understand that expectation over appreciation thing. And then I'm going to give you a couple different tips on how I was building when I was 18. It's a different time. We used to have paper apps back then. We didn't have a back office. You guys think back offices, it's hard. No. Try faxing in 30 apps. That's not fun. And then they're all coming back, you put the wrong number in, and they're all undelivered, and it's horrible. But the expectation over appreciation, how many people have been in this room? Everyone. I don't even have to ask you because I know the answer. Everyone has been in this room sitting across the table from a prospect at one time or another, and you've already spent the $400 platinum bonus before they've even signed up. You've had in your head, they're going to sign up for sure. There's no doubt in my mind. They're going to be a rock star. They're going to be my next Pro 5. It's going to get me to Pro 7. I'm going to be amazing. They're going to bring this whole new team. We're going to be invigorated. It's going to be awesome. It happens all the time. And what I'll tell you guys is ulterior motives. We talked about it yesterday. Ulterior motives can be smelt and felt a mile away. The quicker that you can remove those from your life, the faster you're going to find success. So replacing that with appreciation, what that looks like in my world, when I'm coaching people, what I tell them to do, and I'm not telling you how to build your business, but this is just a little tip. When going out and talking to people, schedule coffee meetings, schedule lunches, and do your best to not bring up life edge opportunity at all. Shocking, I know. But think about it for a minute. When people, I tell this to people all the time, and this is important, because when people choose to let you into their life, respect it. If I ask you a genuine question, are you happy? Are you doing good right now? Are you and your family, are you guys good? And you're like, oh, well, I wish we had more time to spend with the kids. I'm like, well, let me show you a video. I got a solution. It really just shows that all I was doing was planning my whole pitch the whole time while you were literally opening up your life to me. People want to feel like they're cared about. The saying is as true as it's ever been. People will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So the reality is, when you're sitting down with someone, I ask a million questions. You guys want a great little tool? Harvey McKay wrote an incredible book called Swimming with the Sharks Without Getting Eaten Alive. Unbelievable book. In that book, there's a little system that he created called the McKay 66. The McKay 66, you can Google it, look it up online, 66 questions. He basically says in the sales world, if you know these 66 questions about the person you're trying to sell before you walk into their office, the sale is almost guaranteed. Not to say that these are these questions that you're going to look to close someone on, but these are just great reminders of things that you can ask people about their life. Get to know them. Because I ask this to people all the time. How could you pitch an opportunity when you don't know what problem you're solving? People might not have any financial issues at all. They're totally good. They don't need any financial freedom. They're phenomenal, but their health might be ailing. They might be the most healthy person on earth, not looking for supplements. They're part of a different company with supplements. They're good in all that world, but they're just struggling financially. You don't know. You don't know what it is. You don't know if they've got an untapped referral market where they could just open up the world to you. And it might not be for them. But you don't know until you ask. And then once you ask, respect him enough to let him tell you and not just throw up on him. Respect him enough to say, thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. And you keep track in your mind these mental notes. When they're done and they leave, you sit down and write the notes. Janet said that she wanted more time with her kids, said that they're not going on a vacation this year, 401ks that got cut, whatever, your husband was laid off, all these things. You take little notes. A few days later, you can call Janet back and say, Janet, I haven't been able to sleep the last couple nights. I've just been thinking about you. And honestly, you shared a couple problems with me when we were meeting a couple days ago, and I honestly believe that I might have a solution to a couple of those problems. If you'd give me 20 minutes, I'd love to share some of the solutions that I think I might have to the problems that you shared with me. Not many people will say no to that. But if you just pitch them on the opportunity without understanding what problems it is in their life that you're trying to solve, that's when people get squeamish. That's when they get like, people don't like to feel sold, and that's when you're selling. Our job is just to open a door to an opportunity, to be problem solvers. My father would always tell me when I was younger, he told me two great things. This is just a good life quote. This has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. It's just a great life quote. But he would always tell me, Taylor, an honest man needs no memory. Live your life like that. An honest person needs no memory. Because the truth will always be the truth. And the other thing that he told me all the time is your success in this life will be strictly dependent on the size of the problems that you're able to solve. The bigger the problem, the more success. Same thing goes in the same sense. You can say that the more people's problems you're able to solve, the more successful you can be. That's all we are. We're professional problem solvers, you guys. I've been blessed to work with most of the $1 million earners in this profession for most of my life. And I'll tell you what they are. They're two things. They're professional problem solvers and they're professional friend makers. That's it. I know a lot of $1 million earners that couldn't tell you the comp plan of their life depended on it. They couldn't tell you product science. But they're unbelievable about getting to know people and opening up a door to an opportunity. Unbelievable. That's all it is. And another thing I want to say, and I know this might go against some things, and I just take this as food for thought. It's one of my favorite phrases I've been using a lot lately, is don't use inside talk with outside people. It's one thing I've been challenging people lately. When you're talking with just a lay person, I mean, I get it. If you're talking to a doctor, medical professional, stuff like that, totally fine, understandable. But you need to understand that about 98 to 99% of this world has no idea what oxidative stress is. They don't know what nutrigenomics is. They don't know biohacking. They don't know any of that stuff. So I just invite you. Try a pitch. See what you can do and how you can explain this to someone without using some of those inside phrases that we use. Just try it. Because I'll tell you, when I first heard nutrigenomics and oxidative stress, when I first heard, it's oxidative stress, the number one cause of aging within the body, I was like, is there kids in here? I won't swear. BS. I know that stress is, but I go do my own research and I Google all this stuff and I saw that it's this new emerging thing. You have to understand, most people in your world aren't going to go Google that stuff. And they're probably not going to believe you some of the times because you're not a doctor. Some of you are. But if you're just like a normal John the salesman or the car salesman, and you're going in and talking to your buddies about oxidative stress and nutrigenomics, like, John, you were pounding like 4 Red Bulls a day like 2 weeks ago. Like, what are you, like a science expert now? Like, what are you? Like Bill Nye? Like, what's going on? So what I'll tell you is just try it. And it's not to say don't use it. Certain situations, it's always going to be applicable. But it doesn't hurt for those people in your life that aren't in our world or that aren't in our space to be able to explain this. I tell people all the time, there isn't an Uber I get into. I tell people all the time, if you're lucky enough to be on the tail end of one of my Uber rides, you're most likely going to get a prospect. A hungry one. It's just what happens. And for me, it's simple. People say, what is LifeVantage? Incredible nutritional supplement company. It's unbelievable. We literally have a product that the National Institute of Aging has been testing since 1999. It's incredible. National Institute of Aging has been doing a study. They've been testing every anti-aging drug, supplement, pill, powder, lotion, drink, everything they can get their hands on for almost 20 years now. And in almost 20 years, they've only found one product, one, that is clinically proven to extend the life of the animal patients. It was tested on by 7 to 8%. So I'm just blessed. And we have this product patented to death. Can't be touched. Over 20 published medical studies done on it. It's incredible. Did I mention anything other than that study? Anyone you say that to, by the way, just if you can get that down, what I just said, you win. There's not many people. I told that to my mom. I told that to everyone. And they're just like, okay, send it over. We'll take it. Sounds good. You don't need to be a science expert. You can be. If that intrigues you, I invite you to be, but don't feel like you need to be. I couldn't tell you the 5 ingredients of Protandim and RF2 right now. Only one I know is ashwagandha because I like saying it. That's it. There's like milk something, there's something in thistle, sure. I don't know. But guess what? I can point people to 50 videos that's going to tell them every single thing that's in that product and what it does for their body. I don't need to be an expert there. That's a great part of LifeVantage is you guys right now have all the excitement of a brand new company. All the excitement. The world doesn't even know what's about to hit it. But you've got 9 years of back-up legitimacy behind you. Not a missed shipment, not a missed commission payment, not a one improperly done product launch or one improperly done country expansion. Everything that this company has done for 9 years has shown you that they're going to withstand the test of time. You guys have been the main conduit behind that. I firmly believe that without you and the product strength, this company wouldn't be here right now. They tried. There's a couple of CEOs that tried their best to see what they could do to get rid of LifeVantage before Darren got here. Great people, I love them to death. I know them both, they're good guys, but they just weren't cut out to be the CEO of this company. Took 2 other CEOs to find the right one with Darren Jensen, so Darren could put the team together that is going to take this company to $1 billion and beyond. And so I am excited for you guys. I'm excited for every one of you because the truth is, this is rarefied air. I tell people all the time when they say, why'd you come to LifeVantage? Very selfish reasons for me. Selfish. Very selfish. I wanted to be a part of a really cool story. Really cool. I just happened to have my pick of all the companies, and I was like, that's an okay one. That's a decent story. It's a good story. Story's been told. Story's been told. Don't believe in that story. This is a decent story. And then I got to LifeVantage and was like, holy crap. They're doing $200 million a year, 9 years in. And they're ready for a run. They're ready. When I met with Darren, I saw that all the steps were put in place with Ryan Goodwin as the Chief Design Officer, with the new products that were coming out, with the app, with all these things that are happening. I was just like, it's time. I've been watching this company for 6 years. 6 years I've been watching this company.
Who told you about it?
Oh, you guys have Patty Connell. God bless you. You guys know Patty. There she is in the back of the room. That sweetheart. One of my good friends, Brian, called me up one day and said, all right, so I'm doing this business, and my sponsor just really wants to take you to golf and see if you'll entertain talking about this. And I said, I love it. If you know me and you invite me to play golf, I will go anywhere around this whole world. The golf is my passion. I love golf. So Patty and Brian and I go play around golf, and it's an amazing time. And I told Patty, it just wasn't time yet for me. There was some things back then. I mean, there was really only one product, I think, back then. You guys just had Protandim NRF2, I think, and you were talking about Protandim NRF1 coming out as this new product. And so I just said, it's just not time yet for me. I said, there's still things that they need to figure out on their end before it's time. I told you, it's selfish. I was selfish. You guys got rock stars like Sean and Michelle. I'll dote on them in the end, but they were the ones that cut down these trees. They're the ones that, I mean, these guys seriously have blazed a trail for you guys to have one of the easiest roads to success you've ever seen. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But seriously, so I looked at this and I said, all right, I mean, again, like I said, it was pretty selfish. I wanted to go on a run. I wanted to be a part of like this crazy story. I've only seen like 4 or 5 in my whole life of things just like take it off. And those runs where companies like the Young Living and doTERRA's where you watch them just in the last decade, just from just what's in essential oil to what, 2.5 billion? Like what? I mean, who knew what essential oils were back in 2005? Very few people. Very few. So, I wanted to be a part of something special, and I tell people all the time, the wave is coming. But I gave this analogy yesterday, and I'll give it again. When it comes to surfing, if you've ever watched anybody surf before, it's incredibly hard to catch the wave if you start paddling when it's right here. It's real hard, you paddle as hard, it doesn't matter how hard you paddle. The wave's just gonna pass you by. And then you go, well, wait for the next one, okay? But, if you have the wherewithal and the ability to look over your shoulder like I'm telling you all to do right now, and see that the wave is coming, and start paddling with everything in you now, before the wave comes. Key words, before it comes. Everyone wants to be on a wave when it's here. But you guys that start paddling are the ones that make the wave even bigger. So if you start paddling now, you'll have the ability to catch this wave and run. The next 2 to 3 years at LifeVantage are going to be so exciting, but they are reserved. I won't go into statistics because it might be a little depressing. But if I was to go into statistics, I'd say that there's only about 6 people in this room, statistically, that are ready for a reserved spot on one of these waves, just statistically. I believe that every one of you can capitalize on this. I don't want one of you to miss it, but a lot of you will let these excuses and these limiting beliefs and these expectations sink in after this event. And my only hope is that when those moments happen, that you reach out to Sean and Michelle, that you reach out to your upline, that you reach out to somebody and share it, just like these people came up and shared their lives with you. I was vulnerable. It took courage to do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that on a daily basis. I'm an incredibly emotional individual. I cry all the time. Just is what it is. That's why I couldn't do any crying up here today. But seriously, you guys, they're going to happen. Life is going to happen. The universe is going to, the second that you're like, that's it, I'm full time, I'm going to the top of the mountain, we're going to make it happen, I'm not coming down, something's going to happen. And you're like, crap, I got to wait. I'll do it after this thing. Once my son's arm is fixed from being broken, or once I get my parents into the nursing home, or once, school's going right now and it's really busy and I got to do all the PTA stuff. There's a million excuses, there's a million things that the universe is going to test you and say, do you really want this? Do you really want it? Because if you really want it, then go get it. I mean, the reality is this business should be like a good movie, like I talked about earlier. If you went and saw the best movie of your life tonight, what would you do all day tomorrow? What'd you do? Everybody you came in contact with, the barista at Starbucks, the Uber driver, have you seen? For me, it was The Greatest Showman. I went and saw The Greatest Showman. Me and my dad saw it together. We were freaking out. We're like, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life. We downloaded the soundtrack before we left the theater. The whole way home, we're singing This Is Me. It was nuts. Swear to God. True story. Real deal. That next day, what do you think I was doing? I was literally telling everybody in my world, if you don't go see The Greatest Showman, you are the dumbest individual I know. It is too good. Too good. That's what Life Vantage should feel like for you, but it should feel like that every single day. Everyone you come in contact with, have you heard about this company? It's this little side hustle thing I'm doing, but the products are amazing. You got to hear about it. Attach it with, come at it with that kind of excitement. Instead of with this shoulder shrug, hey, I just started doing this side thing and I'd really appreciate it if you would look at it. I don't really know what I'm doing, but boldly, I'm a network marketing professional. Get good at saying that. Say it in the mirror every single day. I am a network marketing professional. Say it with me. I am a network marketing professional. For real, say it in the mirror every single day. Get proud of that. Took me a long time, but in the 90s, it was an embarrassing thing to say. Early 2000s, I was so honored with my dad's mission to be able to shed light on this incredible profession. And I love every single day when someone asks me what I do. I'm a network marketing professional. That's what I do for one of the best companies in the entire profession. It's my greatest honor to share with you guys today. I hope you have an amazing second session. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I'm going to invite Sean and Michelle up, so I want to say something about these guys. So these two are some of my favorite people. I don't say this like, I shouldn't say it. I do say this all the time, every time I talk about anybody. These are my favorite people. I say that all the time. I genuinely mean it with these guys for a couple reasons, and I want to talk about why. I genuinely do. But for real, you guys, when I met Sean and Michelle, man, there's so many things I want to say about you guys. But the reality is to be completely honest, so many people at the top of this profession wear kind of a mask of personal development. They wear the mask of success. They wear the mask of happiness. They wear those masks, a lot of people. And I've spent a lot of time with a lot of $1 million earners. What I've come to find is a lot of them are really, really sad. They're really sad. Their lives aren't what they want them to be. Sean and Michelle, the people that you see at these events, and the people that you see when they're running around hugging and crying and laughing and sharing in moments with you, this is who they are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there is not a couple I know on the planet Earth that spends more of their life dedicated to becoming servant leaders personal development, when it comes to every Tony Robbins seminar, when it comes to their flashing strobe light in their family room that freaks me out on Facebook Lives. Everything they do in their life is to uplift each other, and the reality is, I want a marriage like these guys. There's nobody that I know that loves each other more than these two people do. You couldn't have better servant leaders in your life than Sean and Michelle Poe. And I know them well. I've stayed at their house. I slept in their daughter's bunk bed. For real. Like, we are very close. No shame in that game. So they're the best people I know. They're really incredible. And so, if anything, just steal what they have. Just steal their charisma. Steal their servant leadership. Just steal that. Just embody what they are. You are what they have, embody what they do every day. They give it away every single day. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week of their life is predicated upon giving to you guys. And so I'm so grateful that this friendship started 6 years ago. I'm so grateful that the universe worked in the way it did to bring us all together. Because I couldn't be more blessed and more honored to be here with you guys and with them and with LifeVantage as a family. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much.